Hi there everybody, it's Helen from slimandstylish.com and thank you for joining me today. I'm a Stampin' Up independent demonstrator in the UK and today I have this gorgeous 10-fold trailing pansy card for you. I used the Flower Shop stamp set earlier in the week. I used it with my Time-Lapse Tuesday card to demonstrate how to use our blender pen, which is this one here, with the top of your ink pads to colour in the flowers and how to mask. And through doing this project I remembered how much I love the Flower Shop stamp set. I hadn't used it for months, but I thought I must use it again, and this time I used it with the blend pens. Okay, these new ones here. So I thought I would show you quickly how I made it and how I put it together and the colours I used. My favourite part about the 10-fold card shown here is that there isn't a sentiment on it, so I can use this for birthdays, get wells, thank yous, for any occasion. So it is a great card to keep in your card stack for anything that might crop up. I'm going to show you quickly how to make it. You need a piece of A4 black paper cut in half, so you've got it here, and folded in half so it creates an A6 10-fold card. You then need a layer, which I've used crushed curry, and a white layer for the top. The crushed curry layer is 10 centimetres wide by 14.5 centimetres long. So that's 5 5/8 of an inch long by 4 inches wide. And the white bit here just goes in 1/2 centimetre. So it's 9 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And it's 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so they're the main bits you're going to need to start off with. You also need a scrap piece of paper, so I've got some scrap Whisper White here, and you want your stamp. I'm using this one here because it's the easiest to colour. So you'll need your stamp. The best way to line this up with a punch, let me show you, is when you look at the punch this way around. Don't know whether you can see, but this leaf here has got a double notch. You see? It's in, out, just there. None of the others do that, so it's the best way to line it up. And on the stamp, that is where that notch is there. So I know if I punch that bit down, this is going to fit in better than trying to work my punch round as to where it will go. Okay, I'm just stamping it with Memento Black, which is that one just there. The Memento is much better to use for the blends because it doesn't run when you're colouring it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that up, and as I said, there's the double notch there and the double notch there, so I should just be able to use my punch and line it up quite easy to punch it out. It's much better to use something that coordinates and lines up, because otherwise you can be there for ages circling your punch round the stamped image to see which way it's going to fit. Okay. The colours that I chose for my card were the Cherry Cobbler, the Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, Old Olive, Night of Navy and Rich Razzleberry. And just to save the time, I have punched and stamped and coloured those all out, so I just need to do the Rich Razzleberry. I didn't want you to sit and watch me doing all of them. So for the Stampin' Blends, you have this end here, which is a thick brush, and you have a bullet end here. You have the dark and the light. So I use the dark and I use the bullet end just to run lines up where the stamp had created lines, so it was quite natural just to colour those in the darker colour. And all around the leaves with the bullet tip doing that. I didn't bother about being too tidy with this, purely because I'm going to be putting the other colour over the top, and as they say, it blends in, so you won't notice. It will just give a bit of a dark texture in certain areas. That's all you need the dark for, so I'm coming in with the light now, and I'm coming in with a thick brush tool end to colour that in, starting at the top and working my way down. Okay. There is a colour lifter with the blends as well, so if you do want to get an extra shade in there, you can run the colour lifter along and it lifts the colour out of some places to create a third look really. I'm not using that in my card and I haven't used it. It's just getting a bit too busy if I add a third colour in there as well. Doing this card towards the end of November, and I'm so glad to be bringing you a coloured flower card. I have done and scheduled all of my videos for December, and they are all reds and greens and seasonals and Santas and Rudolphs and Christmas. So it's so nice to be getting into making a beautiful coloured spring card. So those are all my pansies. Okay. I'm just going to leave those for a second and I'm going to bring in my Whisper White background card so that I can get this grunge look on the background. I don't know if you can see it. I've just put some sprinkles on there. The way I did that is I used the Every Good Wish Christmas set. As I said, I was getting fed up of Christmas. I'm bringing out a Christmas set, but I'm just using this grunge stamp here, which can be used for any time, and it just adds a little bit of sparkle to a project. So there's my stamp. I like using this with embossing powders usually because it comes out quite bright, but today I'm going to be using it with my colours. So I'm going to do it as a rainbow effect down the card. Okay, so first of all I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler. I'm just going to put a few splatters of that down the card like that. Okay. A little bit. You're not wanting to do too much. I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper because I've left my Stampin' scrub in my class bag. So I have a class bag and I have my table, and I haven't took my Stampin' scrub out, and it's a little bit of a walk away for me, so I'm just going to take a little bit of scrap and just wipe that off. You do want to wipe it off because putting your cherry cobbler into your crushed curry is never a good idea. Okay, so I think I've got a tissue somewhere to get in because it's quite a it's quite a thick, deep stamp. And really, I should be cleaning it with my Stampin' scrub. But if I had to go and get it, I'd need to put you on hold for some time. So I'm not gonna do that. So now I'm going to come in with a cherry cobbler and just mix that in to the real red so you can see it. Sorry, that one was cherry cobbler. This is crushed curry. I don't know why I'm muttering about real red. I haven't got real red out. Calypso Coral is the next colour for the orange that I'm using. Okay. Old Olive. You're just really creating a rainbow effect down your card. Night of Navy. And I'm just going to finish off at the end with Fresh Fig. I'm not using Rich Raspberry. I'm using the Fresh Fig because it's just a little bit darker and it sets it a little bit apart from the blue. I just want a bit of a brighter, darker colour at the end there. Okay. So there we go. That's all you need to do to get that grunge look on the background. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Put it to the side. I'll have to go and get my cleaner. And that's your background piece of the card done. So bringing in my pansies now, red and yellow and I just folded them loosely like this so that you got an idea of how they link together. Okay, so I can put in there, blue there, and the purple sort of about there. Okay, just pop the piece of card underneath it so you can see if that's the sort of right, because you can tighten it. Bring that just so it's not going over as much there. And a bit more of the blue one show, like that. Yep, that's perfect for me, I think. Turn the paper round so it's corresponding with the right colours, and make sure that you can see some of the red, the yellow, the orange, all the different colours. So that's great. I'm going to use the background to turn my pansies over like that. So you've got the skeleton, how you want to use them. I'm just going to grab my glue dots now. I found glue dots was best to do this with, so you just want to pick up a glue dot and stick it on the leaves between the two colours, just to stick them all together. So just where the leaves meet, just stick a glue dot over to keep them together. Probably be better putting 2 glue dots between each colours. So I put those 2 there. Oh, it's a problem with glue dots. Sometimes they're so sticky. They want to move with you. There we go. I think that's how I want it. I can't see any more that's not stuck. I might just come and stick one just there because I've got the 3 colours meeting, but that's about it. Just going to leave that up there while I stick this to the crushed curry cardstock. I'm just going to use my fuse to do that. You can use your snail for it because it is the thinner whisper white that I'm using on crushed curry, and that will stick. But I've got fuse in front of me, so that's what I'm using. Layer it onto the card. Okay. My ribbon, the ribbon I used was the stitch satin ribbon. Now it's up to you whether you put the flowers on first or the ribbon on. Previously I put the ribbon on first so I could layer the flowers over the top. I'm going to do exactly the same now. So to get this right, I'm just going to run a bit of fast fuse along the bottom there. I'm going to stick the ribbon to the fast fuse. You want to stick it with the duller side at the bottom so that when you come around the other side, the silky bit is what you can see. I'm just going to run the fuse along there. Stick that down. Tie my ribbon. Which I've managed to tie upside down. Oh, aren't I silly? I always manage to do this. I'm never very good at working out which way it's going to turn out until it turns out that way. I don't want it upside down. So let's try this again. Use that one for my bunny ear this time. Go round and through. I'm just gonna, where's my scissors? There we go. So much easier when you haven't got the whole ream of ribbon weighing you down. So there we go. Make that a bit longer there. And pull. Okay, and that can come in a bit. Okay. That has just took this video time up massively, hasn't it? Because I can't tie a ribbon. How amusing. There we go. Going to use my fuse to stick this onto my card back. I've done it all flush. I haven't used any dimensionals because I feel that it's already detailed enough without having it popping up and everything, because you've got so many colours on it. Situate your flower wreath. So that's how mine's going to go. Up and across. And there are your flowers. To finish this project off, I'm using the fine tip glue pen. So I did a tutorial earlier this month that showed you that you could put fine tip glue onto projects to make them appear like they're embellished and higher and thicker up, which is what I've done on the flowers just here. I'd had a few comments about it, so I'm just going to show you. You use your fine tip glue pen. Okay, just take the top off. These are amazing. If you've never used them, there is a little bit of metal here, like a pin, that sits in the top here to make sure it never blocks. And all you do is you just run the glue down like that. Okay, you probably can't see this on camera. However, if you came and you ran your hand over the finished card, you'd notice, because it just embosses or raises, perhaps is the right word, all of the darker veins in the leaves, and it looks stunning. So I just did that, and I put a dot in the middle as well, so that it just created a little bit of texture on the card. There's quite a few techniques in this card, but I just think it's stunning and bright and beautiful, and it's not Christmas, so it's made me exceedingly happy. How many crafters are fed up of Christmas by the time that Christmas gets here? I love Christmas, but because Christmas starts so early, July and August, when you're crafting for Christmas, you just get so fed up of it by the time Christmas comes. So there we go. Very quickly, that is what it's like once you've added all the liquid glue to it. Okay, and it'll dry and it'll be raised up. So there's your card. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Thanks guys, bye.